Alright, so Boruto chapter 6 has officially been leaked, and there was a lot of things to take from this chapter, but as I do most of the time, I'm just gonna split it into multiple videos. But now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about why I'm making this video. Because in Boruto chapter 6, during Boruto and Sarada's conversation, Boruto brought up a great point, and that was the fact that the Shinju was originally supposed to eat an Otsutsuki and turn into the divine tree, but due to Code messing around with the Ten Tails and creating the claw grinds, he actually made them evolve, which allowed them to develop their own self-awareness after they took the forms of the people that the claw grinds consumed. Now, out of all the Shinju that were created, there was one Shinju that we don't know the identity. Now, the whole community has been making theories on who the Shinju could be. A couple theories that I've seen were Gaara, Kurama, Kawaki, and Ishiki. Now, out of all those options, I will say that Ishiki and Kawaki were the most likely options, as Gaara and Kurama would have made no sense, and that's just my honest opinion. Now, the only reason why I never made a video sooner, as I was waiting for more clues to be shown, as there wasn't any really solid proof as to who the Shinju could be. Even though the clues have been right in our faces, I think chapter 6 just solidified it for me, and in my opinion, I think the Shinju is going to be revealed to be Ishiki. And yes, I'm talking about Ishiki Otsutsuki, so let me explain. Now, in Boruto chapter 6, Boruto explained to Sarada that Code's karma affected the Shinju to evolve, and even though Code has a dead karma, his karma still contains Otsutsuki powers, and the white karma that Code got ironically came from Ishiki Otsutsuki, which would allow the Ten Tails to evolve into a Shinju, a divine tree. But it didn't actually work like that, as Code also infused his own chakra, hence why all of the Shinju have access to the claw marks. But Jura, on the other hand, is more special than the rest of the Shinju, and here's why it's pretty obvious. Jura is a clone of Ishiki, as when Jura and the rest of the Shinju were awakened, all of the Shinju had the personalities of the people that they took over. Hidari, being the more quiet and observant of the bunch, is more unlikely of Sasuke's character, with Mitsuri having an up-tempo personality just like Moegi, and the Bug Shinju having a weird and creepy demeanor just fits Bug. This is where things just take a turn, as when Jura was finally awakened, he has a god complex, and with people saying that Jura was Kawaki, Kawaki's personality matches nothing like Jura's. Even though Kawaki has his own superiority complex, I don't think it matches Jura's, simply for the fact that when Jura was awakened, he had damn near the same exact speech as Ishiki, as the main goal of the Ten Tails was just to devour Otsutsuki. And it seems like Jura is way more on the intelligent side than the rest of the Shinjus, and is way more tapped in with his actual self-awareness. Another reason as to why Jura is a clone of Ishiki is due to the fact Jura's clothing is much more different than the rest of them. Jura actually has 6-path patterns on his body, and we've never actually seen Kawaki with 6-path patterns on his body, not even on his clothes. And having 6-path patterns on your body is normal for most Otsutsuki, so that's just one flaring flag coming from Jura. Another flaring flag is the fact that he was sitting on a cube the whole time that the Shinjus were talking. Now, everyone knows the cubes are obviously in relation to Ishiki. Another reason as to why it wouldn't be Kawaki is the fact that all of Kawaki's abilities are Ishiki's abilities. So if the claw grind with the Rinnegan somehow absorbed Kawaki's chakra, all he would get was Ishiki abilities. As a lot of people forget that Kawaki isn't in the same boat as Boruto. Yes, both Boruto and Kawaki are Otsutsuki. Boruto is an Otsutsuki with his own Otsutsuki DNA, confirmed by Momoshiki. Boruto is only 82% Momoshiki, the other 18% Momoshiki used to revive Boruto. And as confirmed by Momoshiki, it was regular Otsutsuki DNA, which would then turn Boruto into a full-blooded Otsutsuki. Kawaki, on the other hand, was confirmed to be 80%, or if he's already at 100%, he's 100% Ishiki biologically. And Amato would also confirm that with Kawaki when Kawaki lost his karma. He stated that Kawaki would always have karma in his body due to the fact he's biologically Ishiki. Or to make it sound a little better, say that Kawaki is still the vessel of Ishiki. So hypothetically, if that claw grind did absorb Kawaki's chakra, wouldn't that just produce an Ishiki clone? Jigen is also another example, as even though he was an imperfect vessel, he also had access to some of Ishiki's abilities. And originally, the Ten Tails was owned by Ishiki, so why wouldn't the Ten Tails take on its own version of its owner? Keep in mind, Jura was the first Shinju to suggest that he wanted more knowledge, even though he could have literally ended the series right when they had Boruto trapped. But due to him awakening his self-awareness, he wanted to do more. In my opinion, Jura has the potential to be even better than Ishiki. Now, the main reason why I see people claiming that Jura is Kawaki is due to the fact that Jura wants to consume Naruto, and it goes along with the pattern that all these Shinju are after people that they love, with Hidari going after Sarada, Mitsuri going after Konohamaru, and Bug going after Ada. But what if Jura was the odd one out, as we know Otsutsuki don't love anybody, and they're the most self-centered species in the entire Naruto verse. So what if Jura's driving instinct on consuming Naruto isn't from love, but it's from hate? As we know that Ishiki felt some type of way after he literally gave Code all of the names of the people that killed him, and we literally seen from Momoshiki how far Otsutsuki will go just to get revenge, as from what we've seen, Otsutsuki Satsuki hold crazy grudges. Momoshiki literally took out Sasuke's Rinnegan the same way Sasuke took out his Rinnegan. Not to mention the fact he also tried to get rid of Naruto using Boruto's body. And like I said before, Ishiki giving out the names of the people responsible for his death definitely screams out salty. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jura's instinct on consuming Naruto wouldn't be from hate. And it seems like Jura already knows his own ability, or if not, he's just getting the hang of them. And it's obvious he can sense Naruto being alive somewhere. In my opinion, it's safe to assume that he's eventually going to figure out the Daikukoten dimension. And from what we know, Jura is not in a Jigen situation. As we know, Jigen was an imperfect vessel and couldn't really abuse the Daikukoten dimension like that. He couldn't even manifest Ishiki's full dojutsu. And it's basically implied that Jura is stronger than Jigen, as Hidari and Bug were literally giving Boruto the works, and it looks like they're going the direction of Jura being the strongest Shinju out of the bunch. And another reason why I think Jura is Ishiki is due to the meaning of Jura's name, which means good, excellent, or having high quality or being superior in some way. There's so many signs pointing to Jura being Ishiki, but I think we'll just have to wait until the eventual confrontation of Jura versus Kaoki, as I do think Jura's first real opponent is going to be Kaoki, and I do think he's just gonna thrash Kaoki. We as a community are looking forward to see how strong Jura actually is, and if he actually is a clone of Ishiki, it's going to be a showcase of straight dominance. But let me know what you guys think of Jura actually being Ishiki. Do you guys think the signs are prevalent enough to assume that Jura is Ishiki, or do you guys still think Jura is Kaoki? Let me know down below in the comments. And in a way, this means that Code was able to revive Ishiki, because if the Shinju were created due to the fact Code used Ishiki's karma, in a way that would mean Code actually fulfilled Ishiki's goal, and that would mean Jura is the embodiment of Ishiki's will. The way Kishimoto has set up Jura is definitely a great way to start off a villain. But we've reached the end of the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and also follow my Twitter, link in the description, and I'm out.